Welcome. This is G with All Astrology. Today is December 4th, 2019. This video is for Gemini Ascendant, Gemini rising signs. All right, Geminis, listen up. This is, I'm excited about what I'm seeing. I'm excited about what I'm hearing. So I will touch on some of the rational, logical, tangible, practical things right in front of me, and then I'm going to share what I'm hearing and what I'm excited about. But we're going to talk about the Neptune effect. Neptune is now direct. And for you, Gemini rising, that is in your 10th house of work, 10th house of goals, highest aspirations, your highest worldly aims, how you are recognized and acknowledged in the world, okay? Now, Neptune has been in that house for, Neptune has been, it's halfway through. So Neptune's been there for already like 7 years. And it has almost 7 more years to go. It's only halfway through. But what it will do in that 10th house for you is it will help you to clarify what that is, what your highest worldly goal and ambitions are, to see it more clearly. And then also we're going to tap on to, I'll mention a little bit about the full moon that's going to occur, where that's going to occur in your chart, some other really good little nuggets that you guys can take for your future walking away. And then the big part of this reading for December right now is Jupiter. Jupiter is now in Capricorn. And for a Gemini Ascendant, Gemini rising, Capricorn is in your 8th house. So let's try to talk through Jupiter, okay? And then we'll look at the 8th house a little bit. Jupiter is all about expanding something, okay? The 8th house is the house of the occult, okay? It's the house of the hidden, the house of, oh my gosh, I can't see that over there. It's when we talk about our physical bodies, it's things that are buried deep below the surface. Typically, we would say it is like our deep emotional body, right? And so Capricorn is very much a tangible thing. It's a physical, tangible thing. So it's an interesting contrast is what we are talking about here for Geminis. Well, that sums up Gemini, doesn't it? Interesting contrast. A dual sign if there ever was one. So Gemini ascendants, I have a secret to share, actually, and I'll try to make it quick. I am not a Gemini ascendant. However, I have a good amount of Gemini energy in my chart. And therefore, it took me a very long time because I associated so closely with my sun sign and with my moon sign and with like a concentration of other planets that I have in certain signs. And there's some sneaky ways where energies can sneak into your chart without them being physically easily recognizable. And Gemini was one of those. It was almost like my duality was hidden from me. Okay. Now, this is very relevant, I believe, because a huge part of the dual nature of any sign, because there are other signs that have this dual nature, if we can't see it, right, then we don't know how to deal with it. We don't even know it's sitting there on the table, right? We have to be able to first see it, to acknowledge it, to recognize it, and then to know, like, okay, what is this, and then what can I do with it? How does this work? What are its assets, right? What are its not so great things? What are its vices and virtues? Well, Gemini, man, that's like the white collar worker. Like they can talk for a living. They can communicate. They can think. They are quick thinkers, quick thinking on their feet, quick speaking. People are drawn to that. There's action. There's power. They sound intelligent. They're usually quirky and fun loving. You know, it can be very fun, spontaneous type of individuals and very mutable, very, very flexible, go left or go right. Well, this was a part of myself that I just didn't see. I didn't acknowledge, I didn't recognize it, and I wasn't aware of it. So for Geminis, I know that was a whole lot of stuff, but for Geminis, having this duality in your 8th house as well as on your ascendant makes a lot of sense. It's like, okay, another dual thing about me, because you have the physical, the tangible in a non-tangible house. The 8th house is the house of Scorpio. It's the house of the unknown. Some people refer to it as the house of secrets. I would say esoteric knowledge, most definitely. It's the place where we can talk to dead people, right? It's because that is this, there's a veil. There's a veil of I'm in the physical plane, but at the same time, I'm in the non-physical plane. I'm in the non-material. I'm in the spiritual world. And how is that possible? How can I be two places at one time? Talk to any Scorpio, right? They'll understand this totally. But for you, Gemini, having Capricorn there, it grounds it even more. And so for Geminis, I'm excited about this because if we understand your Jupiter cycle, you just finished a Jupiter cycle because Jupiter now going into Capricorn, it begins this new life, this new cycle of 12 years ago, roughly. Jupiter was in this place before, in your 8th house, okay? And having that there, you know, it takes that occult house and it says, okay, what have I learned in the last 12 years about myself in areas of the occult, of things that were not in the tangible, physical, material realm? And did I gain knowledge? What did I gain during that 12-year cycle? So now it's gone, it's full circle, and Jupiter is back there again, and it's like, okay, there's almost an retrospect. We're kind of thinking back and saying, okay, really, what did I acquire some skill set I didn't have before? Am I now be able more clearly to see that I can maybe touch in with the other side? Now, having Capricorn there means that it's more physical and tangible. So what I love about this is Capricorn, Jupiter in Capricorn says, let's take this to the tangible level. Let's take this esoteric knowledge that's hidden and bring it here into the physical world and do something with it. 8th house is a super creative house, okay? It is, the 4th, 8th, and 12th houses are the spiritual houses, all right? They're the water houses. A lot of connectivity goes on there. A lot of creating goes on there. And I'm thinking, well, no, I'll get to the hearing part. How's that? Let's just scratch out and say I'm thinking. What I'm hearing, okay, very clearly is there's this very deep emotional healing that's going to occur in terms with fear. A Capricorn fear, a tangible fear of resources and lack of resources, lack of others' resources. Oh my gosh, they're never going to give to me. They're never going to supply to me. I'm never going to have that partner who's going to be able to bring to the table what I can bring to the table. Or help me when I don't have what I need. Help me when I'm not strong enough to be able to take care of myself. Okay? There is this fear, this deep psychological, meaning you're likely not aware of it, fear. All right? And a lot of these fears that we carry for this time come from other lifetimes. They come from other lifetimes. They come from early childhood. That's why the 4th and the 8th house, they're so connected. The 4th house is our early childhood, right? These are the houses, 4, 8, and 12, all right? So there's a connection there between your tangible physical world and a fear of not being good enough, not having enough of the material and the tangible, and equating, saying, well, that means that I'm not worthy in some way. Okay, because I can't, I'm never going to be given this, and so therefore I'm not worthy. If someone hasn't given me this, right, if I can't receive this, it's like my value is based on the material and the physical and the tangible. There's a healing that's going to occur, all right? This is exciting. I'm really excited about Capricorn and talking about Capricorn because we have an eclipse coming on the 26th of this month, okay? We all have it. It's at 4 degrees Capricorn, December 26th. So if you are new and if you don't have your birth information, like if you don't have your own chart, I have a link down below. You can go down there and check it out and draw up your own birth chart and find out, do you have any planets at 4 degrees Capricorn? If you do, the eclipse on the 26th will be a major factor in the sense that you'll feel its effects almost immediately. Okay? If you don't have anything there, then you'll feel its effects over time. All right? It'll happen over a period of like 4 or 5 years. Now, on the other note, if you're new here, if you're brand new and you want to get an actual free reading, I've said it 1,000 times and I'll just say it again. This is All Astrology. My name is G. We do free readings. We give one gift, one high quality free reading to each person that comments below who is a subscriber, right? Share, pass this on. We want to grow, grow, grow. We want to share the knowledge and touch as many lives as possible. So we are taking it in faith and honor in the goodness of humanity to give you this one high quality gift. It is not a computer generated court report. It is something I spend lots of time with Miss A and myself. We're a team, and we go through your chart and we give you a free reading. Sometimes it just has to be me, depending upon how busy we are and how busy Miss A is with her other 9-to-5 stuff. So do yourself a favor, just comment your birth info below. We'll hook you up. All right, let's get back to Gemini. I'm sorry, I digressed a little bit, but I realized halfway through the readings, sometimes I didn't even get to say those other tidbits. So for Gemini, having this in that eighth house, if we understand, like I said, our chart, and if we know if we have any planets at those degrees, we'll better understand how this is going to affect us in our life and the timing of it, which is the whole point of astrology. It's the study of cycles, and there's no point in understanding a cycle if we can't take that information and use it, somehow apply it to our tangible physical world and our non-tangible, our physical, our spiritual, our mental world. You know, this is all that. So for Geminis, this eighth house, the occult house, the house of deep transformations, deeply transformed. Okay, this is something gets dug up by the root and thrown out, and then there's a rebuilding. And this is what's happening in the eighth house, because your Pluto is there, your Saturn is there. So you have Pluto in the eighth house, which is where Pluto is the ruler of, which is super sweet, right? That's where it belongs. It functions at a high level there, which is wonderful. And then Saturn's been with it, and Saturn's all about, we got to do this the right way. We're going to redo this. So in your life, the occult things and fear and past life and issues from childhood and deep emotional body hurts are going to be healed, are under a major reconstruction. And there's going to be deep healings that occur. Now, I want to get on to the next thing, which is, I tapped on it earlier, which was I started talking about Jupiter. Jupiter being in this house now means it's going to expedite all of this. Jupiter will only be here for 1 year. Okay, so in this next 1 year, we're going to see major changes in all of our lives. But for you, this happens in your eighth house. Your eighth house is where you are connected with others deeply. You bond on a deep level with people there. Okay, that is the eighth house for everybody. It is how we share our resources. It is the house of other people's money. It's the house of insurance. It's the house of, like I said, bonding. Some people say it's the house of sex because it's Scorpio ruled home. It's Pluto. Basically, it's merging in a deep way. So you can merge emotionally. You can merge, financially. You can merge mentally with people. It doesn't always have to be about sex. There's also the merging with the other side, with spirit, okay? And so that's why when we talk about the eighth house, it's a house where they say, like I said, secrets and things of the unknown, the occult. But if you're an occult individual, which a year from now, you're going to have a greater understanding of that if you don't have it, all right? Depending upon your sun sign and in your moon sign, you may be well aware of issues of the occult and of the spiritual realm. And I love comments and feedback. So comments, if you have a question about a certain planet, a certain placement pertaining that's relevant to this video, I love answering simple questions. I love helping people to understand more about themselves. That's one of my greatest passions. And so do yourself a favor and just, if you got a question, comment. I do want to end this, but I have a nugget to give you before I walk away with this. Keep in mind about Jupiter, it expands things, okay? It inflates things. It also involves, Jupiter itself involves law and the legal system, okay? Persons, government officials, persons of power, right? Jupiter also has everything to do with our belief systems and our attitudes, all right? It's idealistic. And it's our philosophy on life. So when you combine all that with your eighth house and it being under this major reconstruction, okay, this is phenomenal. It's deep, it's expansive, it's soul-stirring growth. And there's nothing that I'm more passionate than that. So that's going to conclude your December reading. And this was for Gemini Ascendants. And don't worry, I will keep giving updates for the month of December as the month goes along. Hope this helps you for now. Bye.